Hello there, boys and girls. Welcome to 5th grade sneak peek, adding fractions with different denominators. Our essential question will be, how can I add fractions with unlike denominators? Now, you won't be using your Go Math book for these 3 lessons because this is a sneak peek into 5th grade work. So you'll be using the note-taking layout packet. So let's get started. Now our first question says, Malia bought shell beads and glass beads to weave into designs in her baskets. She bought 1/4 pound of shell beads and 3/8 pounds of glass beads. How many pounds of beads did she buy? Now as you can see, it says how many pounds did she buy? That means I want to add. Now sometimes it's kind of hard to add fractions horizontally. So I like to set it up vertically, like this. So go ahead on your packet and please write 1/4 plus 3/8, but make it vertical. Now when adding fractions, you always want to make sure that you keep your denominator the same and you always add your numerators. But in this case, I have a 4 as a denominator and an 8 as a denominator. I can't add the fractions until I have the same denominator. So what we're going to do is we're going to find a common denominator and then make equivalent fractions. The best way to do it is to find your least common multiple of your denominators. So let's look at our denominators. I have 8 and I have 4. Well, if I count by 4s, I can definitely get to 8. So I'm going to let 8 be my common denominator. Because if I list my multiples of 4, I have 4, 8, 12, 16. If I list my denominator multiples of 8, I have 8, 16. Now, although 16 is common, 8 is my least common. In other words, it's easier just to leave 3/8 alone. And now we're just going to find an equivalent fraction for 1/4. How many 8s is 1/4? Now remember back to our 4th grade lessons. We know that 1/4 is equal to 2/8 because 4 times 2 is 8, so 1 times 2 is 2. Therefore, 1/4 is the same value of as 2/8. Now can we add our fractions? 2/8 plus 3/8? I absolutely can. I recognize that because my denominator is the same. I'm going to keep it as 8. And my numerator would be 5 because 2 plus 3 is 5. Therefore, with my question, she had 5/8 pounds of beads in all. Now for my next question, it says, Hillary is making a tote bag for her friend. She uses 1/2 of a yard of blue fabric and 1/4 of a yard of red fabric. How much fabric does she use? Again, the words how much means that we're looking for a total. And as you can see, my denominator is 2 and 4. They're not the same. So I cannot add them until I have the same denominators. So I'm going to write them vertically, 1/2 of a yard and 1/4 of a yard. And I do want to add them, but I can't add them just yet. Now looking at 1/4 and 1/2, I'm going to look at my denominators. I have 2 and I have 4. If I list my multiples of 2, I get 2, 4, 6, 8. If I do my denominator of 4, I have 4, 8, 12. Now looking at my multiples, my least common multiple is 4. So I'm just going to use 4 because if I look right here, I already have 4 done for me right here. I don't have to do anything else with it. It's already done. So I can just leave 1/4 alone. And now I can focus on 1/2. How many 4ths is 1/2? Well, 2 times what is 4? 2 times 2 is 4. So 1 times 2 is 2. And we know 1/2 is the same thing as 2/4 because 2 is half of 4. So if I have something that is cut into 4ths and 2 is shaded in, that equals 1/2. So now let's look at our question. Can I add 2/4 plus 1/4? Absolutely. Here's my equation now. And 2/4 plus 1/4 is 3/4. So let's go ahead and write 3/4 there. And that would be 3/4 yard of fabric. It's just that easy. Okay, for question number 3, it says Maya makes trail mix by combining 1/3 cup of mixed nuts and 1/4 cup of dried fruit. What is the total amount of ingredients in her trail mix? Total is my clue word to add, so I'm going to add 1/3 plus 1/4. Now, I can see that 3 and 4 are not the same denominators, so we need to make them the same. So the first step is to list your multiples of 3. 3, 6, 9, 12. I'm going to stop right there because I know when I mentally count by 4s in my head, I know that 4 is also has the multiple of 12. So my least one that I can see would have to be 12. Therefore, we can make 12 as our denominator. Now, in order to add them, you have to make them equivalent fractions first. So 1/4 equals how many 12s? Well, 4 times 3 is 12, and 1 times 3 is 3. So 1/4 is the same as 3 12s. And now let's look at 1/3 equals how many 12s? 3 times 4 is 12, so 1 times 4 is 4. Now here's my new equation. It's going to be 4 12s plus 3 12s equals 7 12s. And I know I don't need to simplify 7 12s because they don't have any factors that are the same except for 1. So we know that how many cups of trail mix did she have? She had 7/12 of a cup of total trail mix. Now I only showed you 3 examples of how to add fractions with unlike denominators. If this is still a little confusing for you and you feel like a novice or an apprentice, you may want to rewatch those 3 slides again just to make sure you understand what you're doing. And then I want you to go ahead and add 4 6 plus 1/4 equals what total? And then I want you to try 2/3 plus 3/9 on your own. Remember, in order to add fractions, your denominator must be the same. So you have to find like denominators before you add. And please, in the little corner box, I want you to either rate yourself as a novice, apprentice, practitioner, or expert so far on this topic. I understand if you feel like you're a novice or an apprentice because this is 5th grade level work and it's new to you. However, tomorrow in class we will be doing a lot of practice and you'll start feeling closer to this level, practitioner or expert. Again, here are your 2 questions. Do your best, try them out, and if you need to simplify your answers, please do so, and we'll check them tomorrow in class together before we do some more practice. Have a great night. See you tomorrow.